What up, guys? So I just got back from Avengers Infinity War. This is my third take making this video. I just am rambling way too much. I really should write down bullet points. But here goes nothing. Should you see it in 3D? I say yes. Is it a must-see in 3D? No. It stands alone. It's so good that it doesn't matter. I fully enjoyed the 3D, but you know what? I did have to move closer. Since it was a smaller screen than IMAX, I'm way too used to IMAX, and I'm way too used to exactly where I always sit in IMAX. So is what I had to do is I had to sit a little closer to get the better of the 3D effect. I was sitting back a little bit where I normally would sit in a 2D movie, and it kills the 3D. I think maybe some of you guys don't know that it kills it. If you can see way too much of the edges of the screen, it will kill the 3D effect. You have to get close enough to the screen to where the edges don't really bother you, like that aren't really in focus too much to your eyes, because that will kill any 3D effect for any movie. I don't care how good the 3D is. If you're sitting way back in the back, the 3D is going to be terrible. So that is what it is. So the sound's good, everything. I was impressed with every single thing in this film, and it blows Justice League out of the water. It makes it look like a hack job, which it was anyway. Let's be honest. But this sets a new bar. Like now, if I had to go and review Justice League, I think I might. It might be losing some score like immediately for me, because whereas Man of Steel set an awesome bar for me, and Batman vs Superman was not quite up to Man of Steel standards in my opinion. The Ultimate Cut did help it, and I still like both films. Could certain things be cut out probably to up the pace a little bit? Yes, maybe. But they both stand out as, they both had great scores. I mean, hell, it introduced the Wonder Woman theme, which I love. And it just expanded on other themes from, Hans Zimmer and whatnot. And then, of course, you have Wonder Woman. Now, if you take all those films, just Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Wonder Woman, those blow away Justice League. That's the problem. They didn't have an Aquaman film previous to Justice League, so I believe they should have done is they should have waited on Justice League, sorted whatever nonsense was going on, and I think they could have made an epic Justice League film, and they just didn't. It just was, it was just terrible compared to this Avengers Infinity War. This Infinity War, this is a culmination of everything you've been waiting for. So it's like watching a TV show, say that's been on for 5 seasons or whatever, and there's a long-running subplot, and it finally, the series ends, and it, let's say there's like a two-week finale or whatever, 2-hour finale, and it's so satisfying. That's this movie. So it's just as epic. The CGI is just absolutely fantastic. It's just mind-blowing CGI, better than Wonder Woman, on par with Batman vs. Superman. But the styles are different. Whereas you can tell a lot of work went into Man of Steel. Like, if you're gonna, you have to compare, it's only fair. You have to compare Man of Steel, the attention to detail, the set design, or even the CGI background design, or whatever you want to call it, and the green screen work, how epic it was, and I still think is. And then you compare that to, one of the, any other movie, Iron Man 3, for example, whatever, and it's a different style. That's why you can't really compare them. It's just, they look different. They're always going to look different. because it's just a different set of styles. Zack Snyder set up a style like that, and then Justice League comes along and pretty much shat all over it. And I'm not going to pretend I even know why. I don't. I know Zack Snyder's daughter killed herself, but the movie was already shot, like 80% of it. So I don't know what the hell happened. And I don't think I will ever know. I've looked, I've researched. I heard Warner Brothers wanted to fire him. I just don't know when. Did he even really shoot 80%, or was that fake news? I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't speak to the director. I would love to know what he would have to say. Like, why does this movie look completely different than Man of Steel? Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, they look like boom, they go together. I mean, even the ending of Man of Steel and the beginning of Batman vs Superman, they connect like perfectly. Why is Justice League so separate? It just doesn't make sense. It bugs me to this day. It's always on my mind, truthfully. It's because it was that bad. It was that obvious. Joss Whedon directed The Avengers, and that style is completely different than Justice League style. Although, whatever parts he directed look the same as whatever Zack Snyder directed, in my opinion. So it's not like he changed the whole film and ruined it. It's not like that. But Infinity Wars looks like pretty much all of the other Avenger movies, but upped a notch or two even. So it's like Avengers 1 is epic as Avengers 1 was. This is way up there. This is non-stop boredom. You're just never bored. A non-stop boredom? No. You're never bored. There's multiple storylines going on, but they all connect. They all circle around. Everything's about Thanos now. Every single thing is about Thanos. That's the good thing. So what you've been waiting for is finally here. And where they're gonna go from here is anyone's guess. If you're watching this review and you already have seen the movie, that's completely different, because then you know what happens. And what does happen is not anything that I even imagined. I was expecting some fight, and maybe someone would come along and save the day, but they wouldn't kill Thanos. This is just me guessing what was gonna happen. So it was just epic. One part, once you see the film, the guy that sort of screwed up bad, I'm not gonna say how he screwed up. I'm gonna say one of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters is one of the ones that created this bad problem. Spider-Man, Iron Man are trying to get Thanos' gauntlet off of his hand. So, because it's not really about the Infinity Stones once they're already in place. They need to get this gauntlet off of him. They're doing a pretty good job. And someone goes and messes it up, which I thought was that was the only part in the movie that seemed a little forced. Because Peter Quill is not the dumbest of characters. He is actually one of the smarter characters within the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, he's smart. He doesn't really do that many dumb things. The other guys have been the more dumb people. Like I can't think of his name right now, of course, but Dave Bautista. As far as just he's usually pretty intelligent when it comes to getting a goal accomplished. I mean, he may act dumb or sometimes, but I can't think of anything like the raccoon. And of course, right now I'm just trying to make this video quick. I don't want to just names. You know who I'm talking about. The raccoon's usually the dumb one that steals something or something causes problems. But actually, he is very good in this film. Groot's very important. Groot's very important in this film. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see the scene. And it's just like what he did, I believe, was a little forced. That's the only gripe I can think of right off the bat. Now, I don't quite understand the Black Panthers scene. Wakanda, whatever it's called. They have a shield around their city, basically. And it's being surrounded by bad guys. And this is... I'm not going to spoil anything by saying this. So... I don't know if I was like looking down or something. Maybe I missed something. Just because all these guys are surrounding the force field, I don't understand how that is flanking them if they can't get through the force field in the first place. Maybe I missed something, so you guys can tell me. So basically they're forced to open only a tiny little bit of the shield, so the bad guys can come in and they can just, focus fire basically on this section. And this isn't spoilers. This is nothing. You know it by the trailers that there's going to be a fight in that area. So you guys can tell me what you thought were mistakes, but overall it was just non-stop entertainment. Non-stop. I was never bored during this movie. I actually would choose to see it in 3D if you guys can, if you know of a good 3D theater. Hopefully it's calibrated properly and you can see the true, some of the really cool effects that happened. Which, not as good as Thor 3. It's not as good as Thor 3's 3D. Like the last probably 40 minutes of Thor were just epic in 3D. But now I'm losing my voice. Too much talking because, like I said, my third take. But just see it. It's epic. Till next time, guys. Peace.